Hello everyone and welcome to After the Fact Casting. My name is NBadDog, also known in-game on StarCraft 2 as Brainwash, and I bring to you yet another OSA replay. This was submitted to me again by the OSA clan member RTY, and this is a TVZ on Xel'Naga Caverns. A PVZ, sorry, geez, TVZ. RTY doesn't play Terran. A PVZ, and the important part, and all I'm going to say, it is a bit of a spoiler, is Squirtle. Keep that in mind if you've been watching any of the live coverage recently for the Pro Gaming League in North America. Of course, you'll probably get what I'm talking about here, but you'll see soon enough what he's been talking about. So he said to go ahead, cast this replay, and see what I think about it. Should be an interesting replay. Not really sure, you know, how well executed everything is, because of course he didn't want to tell me that, didn't want to spoil, so we'll go ahead and take a look at this. Do have the Overlord moving out across the map for, I forgot to introduce my Zerg player, of course, Scourgegasm. Interesting name. You know what? I don't want to know what a Scourgegasm looks like, or how you even pleasure an Overlord. I'm just, you know, I'm just not even going to go there. I'm not even going to form the mental picture in your head of two Overlords having sex. Oops, it was too late there. Oh, sorry about that. But there you go. Now you have that wonderful image. And we do have the probe microing away. Is he going to get a drone? We're going to cast. Is he going to get the drone? Is he going to get the drone? No! The probe is turned away from the drone. We do have an earlier spawning pool coming down from the Zerg player Scourgegasm. This is before gas, so you won't be getting out any early Zergling speed. Let's take a look at the production tab. There we go. So he's looking at drones and maybe a few Zerglings, and of course here we go. We do have the early Nexus coming down from RTY. Pylon on the low ground, and there we go. There's the Forge. This is the, I don't know how else to describe it, the Squirtle opening. It's a fast expansion, pylon on the low ground, forge at the base of the ramp. So there you go. You can take a look at this and see if it will actually work. Looks like Scourgegasm himself has decided to go for a fast expand. So we have expansions that are relatively equally timed. It looks like the Protoss players will come out a little bit ahead though. RTY will be finishing up before, and the forge is done there. So he will be able to get a cannon down. Let's see where's coming that cannon, and it looks like the Zerg isn't pushing out across the map, giving RTY that extra time needed to get those cannons down. And there we go, there goes getting the gateway as well, completing that wall in, or I guess not completing, but further fortifying this front entrance, giving the Zerglings so little room to run by into. And there we go, there is another cannon coming down in the mineral line. Looks like these Zerglings could run by if they wanted to, take a look up into the main base, but they know not much damage will be done, so they're choosing not to. And there go the Zerglings, and they will get caught by the probes there. Very nice grab by the probes, stopping the extra scouting information from coming in. Of course, all Scourgegasm would have realized had he managed to get those Zerglings into the base is that RTY has nothing. All he has right now is that forge on the low ground with two cannons. However, the two cannons do a reasonable job of covering one another, so unlikely... Geez, sorry about that, got a cracker stuck in my mouth. Unlikely that the Zerglings can do a run by there. And looks like we do finally have a Cybernetics core coming down from the Protoss player RTY, as opposed to Scourgegasm. And what has he got going on here? It looks like absolutely nothing really. No transfer of drones down into the natural expansion. No research of speed as of yet, and he is still yet to inject larva, though he is spawning out a third queen. One would assume that the queen is going to be used for creep spread. I can't imagine we're going to see mass queen. It's kind of rare. Double extractor going down, so we are looking to possibly expand into bit of roach play here. 4 extractors going down. Okay, maybe 2 base mutas, I guess, would be... That's my guess anyway. 2 base muta, coming from a guy who is terrified of the thought of having to micro queens. You know, I have so much Zerg experience. Definitely don't take my opinion with a grain of salt, as someone say. Second gateway coming down from RTY. One zealot out here, nicely walling off this. Looking for a sentry probably to come out next. As soon as he gets that gas, there you go, hits that 100 gas mark, and he does get the sentry. Third expansion, of course, I think I mentioned this. I moused over it. I remember looking at this expansion. Scourgegasm is halfway completed on his second expansion, third base, sorry. so he will be able to get the extra macro back up. Of course, as Zerg, you always want to be at least one base up on your opponent. Arguably, as any race, you want to be one base up on your opponent. You know, your opponent has a base, take another base, but definitely as Zerg, you need it for that unit production, and 16 Zerglings coming out here. Of course, speed is still very far away. Got, you know, it's not even a quarter, it's just over a quarter, coming on to a third finish now, so that'll be a little bit delayed, as well as 2 Evo chambers coming down. So we're looking for gas heavy upgrade play from the Zerg player, and he is teching up to Lair. So he has access to Hydralisks, of course, Infestors, and he's getting some spine crawlers down for defense. Whereabouts are those spine crawlers? I actually don't see the spine crawlers. There we go. I'm blind. 2 spine crawlers here, 1 spine crawler here, so looking like he's going to be taking a fairly defensive position. Queen is way off creep here. Queen's going to be trying to take the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Either that or the Queen's running the marathon all the way down to the other base. Oh, the Queen's going out to his third base. I would have thought it would be faster just to produce a Queen here and keep that one as creep spread. Try and slowly move the tumors across the map, because that is going to take for absolute ages to get that Queen across. There you go. He still hasn't produced any drones out of this hatchery either. There we go. Finally using those larvae there. Money was getting a little bit high, and he is definitely saving up the gas. Do we have a... We've got a spore crawler. Why do we have spore crawlers being built? What does he see? I don't think he sees anything. Yeah, he's operating in the dark here. I was like, why are spore crawlers going down? There's absolutely no air. But there you go. Spore crawler was going down somewhere. He may have canceled out of it. I can't actually tell. I think he did actually cancel out of it, so I was reading too much into that. So the game's kind of petered out here for a bit. Does have a Twilight Council coming down for RTY. Ton of sentries there. Absolutely massive number of sentries. Force field placement will not be his issue this game, because if he messes up on the first one, he's got, you know, at least 9 more that he can probably place down before the Zerg get anywhere close. Plus the Guardian Shield, of course. And he's Chrono boosting out. Absolutely nothing really at this point. Just steady probe production. RTY is a little supply blocked here, so he's throwing down that extra pylon there. Probably, yeah, he's going to throw down a pylon there just in case of Muta harass. So he is behind in supply. There's about a 20-point supply lead for the Zerg player. Of course, with that big warp in, that is severely diminished. And Blink has just begun, so we're going to see some Blink micro coming from the Protoss player. Creep spread for the Zerg player for this level of play is phenomenal. I just want to point that out there. This guy could not be faulted for his creep spread. That is absolutely amazing. I have seen worse creep spread coming out in pro level games. You know, still no creep spread connecting the 2 bases together. So I'm impressed by that at least. Tons of Zerglings coming out here. And it looks like everyone's taking the long route. So this should be interesting when the Zerglings come around here expecting to do a surprise attack on the Protoss player. And there they go. They are going down the low road. They are expecting those rocks to be demolished, and they're coming back up. And okay, I thought they might commit over to this side, but it looks like they won't. And there we go. He is using the back door. Seldom used this back doors, but he's coming right into the third base of Scourgegasm. And there we go. He is walling off the ramp with force fields. I told you force fields would be a strong point in this game with that many sentries blocking up the Zerglings. The Zerglings are going to go for a counterattack, though. They are going to stream into RTA's natural, and that is a lot of Zerglings on the ground there. Let me see if I can get a count on there. There we go. Two full control groups of Zerglings that they are getting hacked apart. And there we go. They do manage to slip into the main. The Zerglings are going to be able to wreak absolute havoc in the main mineral line of RTY. And there we go. There's the drone pull off, but he does get us around on a few of the drones. And he might be able to snipe that Nexus. The Nexus is going down, falling quickly. And it's gone through the shields, and it is working on the health now. The Nexus will go down before the Protoss army can reinforce this. And here we go. There's the Warping coming in behind. And they might be able to trap these Zerglings in before the Zerglings can do too much more damage. The Zerglings are running around like madmen. Will they be able to do a bit of damage to the sentries? The sentries blocking them in, forcing the Zerglings to fight to the death. And there you go. The Zerglings are finally cleaned up here by the Protoss player RTY. But a huge amount of damage was done to him. Supply-wise, he came out ahead because, of course, the Zerglings all died. But I think economically, he is in a far worse position. Let's take a look at the economy. That's spending, not economy. Income for I. There you go. So he is a little bit behind. He's 400 minerals behind, 200 gas behind, and the harvester discrepancy is pretty wild. 15 drones up on the Protoss player, even though they're at equal bases. The Zerg definitely needs to consider re-expanding or taking the gold. I don't think he has the military supremacy right now to be able to hold the gold, though. The Protoss are significantly better at holding ground rather than the Zerg. And the Protoss RTY will be moving down on this base, and it looks like Scourgegasm here is stuck on primarily Ling. He has not teched up to anything else. There are no roaches.